This is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and T. I didn't think you were going to make it, but you did. We want to thank you for coming into the program with us today. This is ATL Day Ones, and thank you for making this your first listen. Remember, we're free and available wherever you download your podcast, and wherever you download your podcast, make sure you leave us a 5-star review, or we're going to fight.
He's going to fight.
Yeah. I'm going to fight.
I'm going to just smile at you and say, please, and thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Tenitra is more nicer than I am. Mine come out every now and then, T. But in this particular case, I don't mind begging. I don't mind getting my key sweat on, But yeah, give us a 5-star review when you go there and check us out. We really appreciate you for that. We are on our way to 3,000 subscribers. Yay. And that's all because of you all. And we thank you and we love you just for that. Now, T, the Braves got the big old Mets series coming up. That's tonight. We're going to talk about that and preview that bad boy and see what they got going on. Also, Marcus Mariota is getting comfortable. He hasn't started a game in 2 years. Ooh, is he going to be able to handle that pressure that comes with that and second time around? And last but not least, and for the culture, we got real football. I'm just going to leave it at that. We'll get into all that. But first, like the Braves, they take the L yesterday, T. 3-1 to the Phillies. Charlie Morton pitched a masterpiece of a game. And I don't know about you, but I am super, super encouraged by seeing that. But ended up, our guy, the smooth sniper, Colin McHugh, gives up the home run in the 8th inning to Castellanos. And that pretty much sealed the game for the Phillies. And they split the series against the Philadelphia Phillies. But you would like for them to get the mini sweep, but there were some things that were definitely promising that came out yesterday.
Yeah, and I'll give you that. Charlie Morton did what we needed to see him do because, again, we know that the rotation is going to shrink decidedly when it comes to the postseason. So, yes, great that you have Max Fried, great that you have Kyle Wright, great that you have Spencer Strider, all just balling out these days. But it would also be great if you have someone in that forward spot who's ready to rock and roll as well. And Charlie Morton, for the most part, is showing us more consistently that he's that guy. And you hate that he didn't get the run support that he deserved. I mean, the Braves essentially got 5 hits, but only 1 run out of it. And just the opposite for the Phillies. But more about for them, it was just, man, you cannot overlook what JT Realmuto did. I mean, that was just some masterful running in order to make that double play not happen. So literally you see him get there right before he's tagged, you get the replay, and that really kind of resets the game. And like you said, then Nick Castellanos does what he does, and that's game for you. But again, I go back to what you said, which is the encouraging part is what Charlie Morton was able to do. It's just that real talk. We're starting to get into crunch time, and the Braves just cannot afford to drop games like this because you're right there at 2.5. The Nats gave you a gift. Okay, the Nats gave you a gift on Tuesday by beating the Mets, and then the Mets returned the favor last night. You lose, and now we're back to 3.5 games down. Now you're going to Queens, and you're in a little bit more of a must-win situation with 5 games in 4 days where you could have had just a little bit more of a cushion, if you will, kind of a soft landing if you had gotten that game. But nonetheless, you said it best, which is we still had some positive takeaways. And Charlie Morton, to me, that was the best of the best from last night. And no Orlando Arcia, coming off that struggle, but still.
Yeah, you're coming off the struggle. The struggle bats are kind of starting to come around. We're seeing Orlando Arcia starting to go deep again. That's what we like to see from those ancillary players. Like, I hate to refer them to it as, but that's what it is when you have a team as loaded as the Braves. Now, we're going to talk about Kyle Wright and what he can do on the mound against the New York Mets. But before we get there, T, I just purchased another box of Built Bars. Yes, I'm in there. I told you, I'm all in. Like, tell the people why they should join me.
Okay, yeah. I'll tell you guys. I got to look at this. I'll tell you guys why you should join. See, one of us is on like a super duper diet, and one of us is kind of getting there. And so, with the Built Bar, I think that's going to help me to get there because you know what? We're talking about healthy and tasty all in one snack. You want the best for your taste buds? That's it. Now, maybe you have tried, as Jarvis has, the coconut brownie chunk Built Bar, but for me, I wanted to check out the puffs. As you guys know, I told you yesterday my puffs melted on me. So I'm going to do the remix on the way to the gym today. But that is what we're doing. We gave you the Built Bar treatment. Now we're giving you the Built Puffs treatment. So the coconut brownie chunk Built Bar, that's the flavor you love. It's marshmallowy. It's covered in 100% real chocolate. And now the chunk puffs are here, but only for a limited time. So you got to grab those. You got to go to built.com right now, at least after this show ends, to make sure you don't miss out because they are going fast. And they're going fast because, like Jarvis said, they taste really good. And then you look at this. They are made with collagen protein. That's something where your body's able to absorb quickly and efficiently. And what does that do? That provides tons of health benefits from that perspective of being able to absorb those proteins quickly. So you can enjoy it guilt free because, hey, they're good for you, but they taste really good. So when you're craving something or you need to satisfy your sweet tooth, or as I always say, you're in this ATL traffic and you are just trying to get a positive distraction and you want to save your sanity, get yourself some Built Puffs, some Built Bar Puffs. So stop fantasizing, get to built.com to order your box of coconut brownie chunk Built Puffs. Right now, you can order some bars if you want to too. You use the promo code locked on. That'll get you 15% off your order. Again, use the promo code locked on right at the built.com spot and check out those puffs. They're good for you. Gonna be good to you too.
They're gonna be good to you. I'm not gonna lie. I vouch for them. There you go. That's all you need. Now, T. Now we know that Alex Anthopoulos made several subtle moves at the trade deadline. Didn't really go for the
Mhm.
big splash. I mean, you can make the
Right.
argument for Raciel Iglesias probably potentially being that since he's going to be around
Yeah.
long term and potentially
Yeah.
be the guy that comes in
He
and close
did.
down ball games. But
Mhm.
I think right now, this 5-game series, like you mentioned, is going to be something that is going to tell the tale because when you're talking about 5 games and you're
Mhm.
only 3.5 games back, there can
That's
be
true.
a really big swing in the National League East, and I think that the Braves need to come in with that mindset.
Yeah, they absolutely do. This, we don't like to call something a must win at this stage
Mm.
of the season, but real talk, it is. I mean, it really, really is because that race is so tight. And it's not even just about catching the Mets at the top of the division. It's about staving off the Phillies who are on your heels. So
Yes.
this is, and so now that you just split that series versus maybe the Braves sweeping that series, it's all the more important for them to really, really get it going. And like you said, you've got a situation, right, where you're going to play them. And I'm literally looking at the schedule because I want to make sure I get this right. You've got 5 games in 4 days against the Mets and you're on this road trip, right? So then you got to go to Red Sox. Then you got to drop down to Miami and check out the Marlins, who always kind of give you a little bit of trouble. And then what do?
Mhm.
You got to come back home for a 4-game series against the Mets. So really, those kind of bookends, if you will, starting this week and then ending on the tail part of week after next. This is a critical 2 weeks for the Braves that kicks off tonight. But like you said as well, you got Kyle Wright on the mound, followed by Ian Anderson, Max Fried, and then Jake Odorizzi is projected to be the starter on Saturday, and then they'll come up the rear with Spencer Strider. And so I'm looking for some good things, but I do think Kyle Wright is the perfect pitcher to get everything started, just to kind of make that statement and give the Braves what they need on the mound. Now, Jarvis, it's just up to the rest of the team to give him the run support that he needs in order for the Braves to get it done in game one.
No doubt about it. And when you talking about Kyle Wright being the right guy, he is
Hmm.
6-0 in his last 7 starts.
Scary.
And ERA just under 3 at 2.93. Like,
Yeah.
whoo, that's the perfect timing. Perfect timing
Yeah.
for sure. And I think
Hmm.
that, I'm expecting nothing less than continuing what he's been doing from the
Hmm.
26-year-old righty and Kyle Wright. Now, coming up next though, T. Marcus Mariota is the projected starter, right? And I think he's shown that he's proved that. We'll talk about whether or not he's ready to get back into that starter saddle next, right here on ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and T, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. Don't go anywhere. You better not. I will fight you.